A series of new rules and proposals for 2025 are set to make the journey to permanent settlement significantly longer, more expensive, and far more conditional. These are not minor adjustments, they are fundamental changes designed to reduce net migration and reshape who can build a life in Britain. First and foremost, the government is moving to double the standard qualifying period for indefinite leave to remain, or IR, from 5 years to 10. This proposal, a cornerstone of the May 2025 Immigration White Paper, would apply to most work-based migration routes. It means skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and many others will face a decade of temporary status before they can apply for permanent settlement. While some exceptions are anticipated, such as for those on family visas with British partners, the 10-year path will become the new default, prolonging uncertainty for hundreds of thousands. This extended timeline is coupled with a new, more demanding contribution-based model for settlement. It will no longer be enough to simply live and work in the UK legally. The Home Secretary has announced plans to consult on a series of new tests to prove an applicant has earned the right to stay. These proposed conditions include being in continuous work, making national insurance contributions, having a spotless criminal record, not claiming any benefits, and even demonstrating a contribution to the community through activities like volunteering. This transforms settlement from a predictable process into a more subjective assessment of a person's value to the UK. For those on the skilled worker route, the financial and professional bar has been raised dramatically. As of the 22nd of July 2025, the general minimum salary threshold required for sponsorship was increased to £41,700 per year. This figure is a substantial leap designed to focus recruitment on high earners. Crucially, when these workers eventually apply for settlement, they will need to meet this full salary requirement, as discounts for new entrants or PhD holders will not apply at the ILR stage, making long-term financial planning a precarious exercise. In parallel, the government has elevated the minimum skill level for sponsored work. The requirement has been lifted from RQF Level 3, which is equivalent to R levels, to RQF Level 6, the equivalent of a bachelor's degree. This change, which also took effect from the 22nd of July 2025, immediately eliminated around 180 occupations from eligibility for the skilled worker route. The policy is a clear pivot towards attracting only graduate-level professionals, effectively closing the door on a vast range of medium-skilled jobs that were previously open to overseas recruitment. In one of the most contentious moves, the government has shut down the main visa route for new overseas social care workers. As of July 2025, employers can no longer recruit care workers and senior care workers from abroad for new roles. This ban was implemented to push the sector towards investing in the domestic workforce, despite chronic staff shortages and vacancy rates of around 10%. While those already in the UK on a health and care worker visa can extend their stay, the move has been criticised as potentially devastating for a sector heavily reliant on migrant labour. The ability for workers to bring their families has also been severely curtailed. A ban on dependents was introduced for care workers on the health and care worker visa starting from March 2024. This policy, which saw an estimated 120,000 dependents accompany 100,000 care workers in the previous year, is now being extended. A similar ban applies to workers in medium-skilled jobs sponsored under the new temporary shortage list. This forces skilled individuals to choose between a job in the UK and living with their partner and children, a decision that will undoubtedly make Britain a much less attractive destination. The rights afforded to those seeking refuge are also being fundamentally altered. The government has announced that migrants granted asylum will no longer receive automatic rights to settlement and family reunion. Described as ending the golden ticket to settling in the UK, this change means that even after being recognised as a refugee, individuals will face a longer, more conditional path to permanent residence. Following a suspension of the family reunion route in September, this new policy aims to reduce the pull factors for those making dangerous journeys to the UK. For those who do navigate the path to settlement and wish to apply for British citizenship, the rules have become notably stricter. The Home Office amended its good character guidance on the 10th of February 2025. Under the new policy, anyone who has ever entered the UK illegally will normally be refused citizenship, regardless of how much time has passed. This includes those who arrived via small boats or concealed in vehicles, and is a significant barrier, even for individuals who are later granted refugee status and have lived lawfully in the UK for many years. Language requirements are also being tightened. The government has signalled that higher standards of English will be required for various visa and settlement applications. Furthermore, there is a new proposal to require the partners of people moving to the UK on work visas to demonstrate a basic command of English to qualify for a dependent visa, adding another hurdle for families trying to move. Finally, the financial burden of the entire immigration process is escalating to prohibitive levels. Visa application fees have risen, with an application for indefinite leave to remain now costing over £3,000. The most significant cost, however, is the immigration health surcharge, which now stands at £1,035 per person per year. For an individual on the new 10-year route to settlement, the total cost, including multiple visa renewals and the surcharge, could easily exceed £15,000. For a family, these costs can climb to over £50,000, creating a formidable financial wall that will force many to abandon their plans to settle in the UK.
Crucially, it also means setting rules that ensure contribution to this country is a condition of living here. Because I know that the British people welcome those who come here and contribute, but contribution is a condition of that welcome. For that reason, we will soon increase the time in which someone must have lived in this country to earn indefinite leave to remain from 5 years to 10. And we will be consulting on this change soon, and as part of that consultation, I will be proposing a series of new tests, such as being in work, making national insurance contributions, not taking a penny in benefits, learning English to a high standard, having no criminal record, and finally, that you have truly given back to your community, such as by volunteering your time to a local cause. Without meeting these conditions, I do not believe your ability to stay in this country should be automatic. Some will be able to earn an earlier settlement than 10 years based on their contribution, while others will be forced to wait longer if they are not contributing enough. In some cases, they will be barred from indefinite leave to remain entirely. The British people have always welcomed those who come here, who work hard, and who give back. Time spent in this country alone is not enough. Just like my parents, you must earn the right to live in this country for good. If you do, I know this country will welcome you.